What's up, guys? My name is Tai Zen. Welcome to the cryptocurrency.market channel. This is a real-world trading, investing, and entrepreneurship channel. In this channel, we like to share with you guys the things that we do to grow and manage a 7, 8, 9-figure portfolio. All right, and we try to give it to you guys the way it is in reality, and not some of that fantasy land bullshit. Okay. In this video, guys, you guys have seen me broadcast since 2013. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, since 2013, 2014, something like that. So if you guys have been following me since then, you guys know that, you know, we have retired. Our team has retired. I left the U.S. I moved back to Vietnam to take care of my sick mom and retire here in Vietnam. I'm currently broadcasting from a Starbucks in the Terminal 21 shopping center in the city of Bangkok in Thailand. All right, so I came over to deliver my 4th child, and we got stuck here voluntarily because of the COVID, and I don't want to go back to Vietnam right now and be stuck under the quarantine. So that's why I'm staying here in Bangkok until things clear up. All right. So in this video, well, in previous videos, you guys have heard me talk about, pretty much share everything that we can with you guys about, you know, buying, selling, trading, crypto, and everything. And sometimes, you know, we talk about, you know, real world trading and investing, and the reason why we don't buy or sell certain things, and the reason why we do certain things the way that we do. In this video, I want to share with you guys about the things that I don't know about trading and investing. Okay, the things I don't know, because you hear a lot of people talk about the things that they know, and they sound like experts and everything online. And sometimes I wonder, like, hey man, like, this guy's always talking about everything like he's an expert or something. Like, isn't there some shit that this guy don't know about trading, or things that he's still struggling with in trading or investing? And I'm always curious about that. And I'm sure that if you guys have been following us for a long time, you guys might think the same way too. That I wonder if, I wonder if Tai is really as good as he says he is, and I wonder if his team is really as good at trading and investing like they say they are, right? And I will say that, you know, I'm confident and believe that, you know, our team is one of the best trading teams on the planet. And what metric am I using to say that? Okay, well, you know, I mean, if our team is in the top, you know, 1% of the 1% in the world, I think that, you know, I think it's fair to say that we're one of the best trading teams out there, because that's not a statistic that a lot of people, that's not the amount of money that a lot of people can get to in their lifetime. So if we're there, I mean, I guess it's safe to say that we're one of the best trading teams out there. I like to think so, right? But even though I believe that we are one of the best trading teams out there, there are still a lot of things that we struggle with. And in this video, I want to share that with you guys, so that you guys know that, you know, even as good as we are, there are still holes in our game. There's still gaps in our learning. There's still gaps in our trading, okay? Let me start off by telling you guys the things that we do not have gaps about, so that you guys are aware, okay? So when you're a beginning trader, the first thing that you're gravitated towards is 2 or 3 things. For example, you want to know what the best stock is, what the best currency, what the best commodity, what's the best coin, what's the best crypto, what's the best, you know, property to trade, to buy or sell. So that's common. When you first come into trading and investing, that is the most common thing that everyone wants to know, like that. Another common thing that people want to know is technical analysis, okay? So there are channels out there, they do technical analysis all goddamn day, all day, okay? Now I can tell you right now, anybody that's doing technical analysis all day, right, they're not trading a very large account. Because if they're trading a large account, that technical analysis they do every day will not work. I'm not saying that you don't need technical analysis. I'm just telling you guys that doing technical analysis every day is not a scalable solution to managing a bigger portfolio. And I can tell you that, okay? So What else? So people want to learn that, and then they get caught up in indicators, like, or systems or methods or strategies. Hey, which strategy is better? You know, which method is better? Which indicator is better? Well, I can tell you, our team has gone beyond that. Okay, that's just like elementary level shit that people still worry about. And I was stuck in that realm for many, many years, okay? Our team was stuck in that, okay? Several guys on our team were stuck in that for many years. And, you know, we figured it out, we got past that, right? Then came the stage of taxes, okay? Taxes, okay? Because once you start making a consistent amount of profits from trading and investing, right? If you do it correctly, you're gonna make a shitload of money. It doesn't matter, it does not matter if it's in stocks, in Forex, in futures, in commodities, in gold, silver. If you're a good trader, right, in any of those asset classes, you're gonna make a shitload of money, okay? It's just a matter of how much, all right? Somebody that's trading stocks, right now, you know, since Bitcoin is hot, somebody trading Bitcoin may be making more profit than somebody trading stocks, you know, but that might not necessarily be true, because if somebody's trading GameStop or Tesla or any of those, they're gonna make a shitload of money too. So that's not really. So that's like the next stage. The next, like the first level is like worrying about what strategies, indicators, time frames, and just like rookie stuff, like amateur stuff. So whenever you hear somebody talking about all that stuff, you can tell these guys, number one, they're just beginning traders and investors, or number two, they trade a very small portfolio. Okay, because that's not a scalable solution. I'm telling you that, guys, that right now. The next stage in a trader's development is when they start looking at worrying about taxes. That is the number one cost when you're trading and investing. The number one cost is taxes. So you're always constantly worried about, okay, like, can I make this trade now? Oh man, you know, I'm gonna make an extra, you know, 20%, but then that's gonna cost me X amount in taxes. You know what, I'm just gonna bite my tongue, you know, and just hold on to this for another 2 months so I can get a lower tax rate. Or hey, you know what, I'm gonna move to this jurisdiction or that jurisdiction, to this country or that country, to reduce my tax rate. So those are the things that's like the next level. So whenever you hear a trader, you know, constantly stressed out or worried about his taxes, you can tell that that trader is probably making some decent money, okay, some good money. So the next level after that is when you start hearing about the trader like renounce his citizenship. Like he's out there buying a new passport, he's buying a residency, he's getting like a long-term investor visas and stuff to live in different residences in different countries to reduce his taxes, okay? Which I wouldn't really say is the next level. It's still the same level because they're still trying to solve the tax problem. The reason why this issue is an issue is because when the trader is making that kind of money where he's worried about his taxes and trying to buy passports and residencies in different countries, there's not too many traders at that level that you can talk to. So when a trader is getting to that level, it's very, very likely that he's trading somewhere in the seven-figure portfolio. Like his portfolio, his trading account, or the money that he's managing is in the seven figures. So that's very common for traders to get to that level and start being worried about those things. And usually you don't hear these traders talk a lot about technical analysis or indicators or you know, the low-level rookie stuff, okay? So now, after that, if the trader gets beyond that tax issue, right, and the jurisdiction issues, and the tax jurisdictions, right, then they get to the level where I would say that me and my team is at, and we're at the level where we're worrying about what's called succession planning, or estate planning, or generational wealth planning. So if you look at, like, for example, like I'm in Thailand right now, and you look at the king of Thailand, he's the richest king in the world. Okay, there's no other king that's wealthier than him. When I bought this condo on the Chao Phraya River, which is, it's like in the 5-star hotel district, right? I asked the real estate agent, I said, hey, if I buy a condo here, it's got an amazing, I mean, like the most perfect view that you can ask for a condo, a riverfront condo in Bangkok. And I said, hey, there's only one thing that I'm concerned about, there's all that empty land there with like the low income housing. What if some developer comes in there and buys all that low income housing, right, and builds a high-rise condo or hotel right there and block my condo view of the river? And the real estate agent said, that's not going to happen, right? And I said, why not? You know, I mean, there's always a developer that has lots of money that can come in and buy that land and build it. And the real estate agent told me, it doesn't matter what real estate developer it is or what country they come from, they are not going to have more money than the king of Thailand, because he owns that land. The king owns that land. And I said, well, wouldn't he want to sell it if somebody offered him enough money? And she said, the king does not need more money. The king has plenty of money already, and it's not going to look good for him if he puts in if he sells that low income housing land and kicks out all the poor people out of there. That would be the equivalent of like you know, that she said that would not look good for the king, especially when he does not need the money. So for sure he's not going to do it, you know. And she said if he did do it, he would have done it a long time ago. Okay, he wouldn't wait till now. And she said that, you know. But anyways, she said that I don't have to worry about that, because the king is not going to sell that land, and no one's going to get it from him. And she said that the other thing too is that you cannot buy the land from the king. You can only lease the land from the king. So it's very likely that even if they do, she said, they're not going to do it. They're not going to do it. Build anything very big right there, because that means that they would have to buy a lot of land from that area in order to build something that's very big and tall. Okay, and she said that also that the new law is that even if you do build a tower, a condo tower or a hotel there, it has to be like 50 meters or 100 meters from the river bank. So she said even if they do it, she said it's not going to block the view. Okay, so I said okay, all right, that's cool. So that's when I decided to buy the condo, right? But what I was saying is this, okay? So what I'm concerned right now, or the things that I'm researching and the things that I'm struggling with in my trading game right now, or my trading journey right now, is the succession planning, the wealth planning, right? The things that, like how does the king of Thailand have that much wealth accumulated over 10 generations? How did they do that? How did they transfer wealth from generation 1 to generation 2 to generation 3 to generation 4 without losing the wealth? And the wealth is either at the same level or it continues to grow. So that's what I'm working on. That's what I'm working on right now, because if I keep doing what I'm doing, I'm going to make more money trading and investing in crypto. So I'm not worried about that. But what I am worried about is that, okay, I make all this money, I cannot use it all in my lifetime. For sure, my kids cannot use it all. For sure, my grandkids cannot use it all. So right off the bat, if I am generation 1 and my kids are generation 2 and my grandkids are generation 3, right now, I know for a fact that the first few generations do not have to worry about money. So what do I need to do in order to set up the legal infrastructure or the entities to allow my kids to keep going? Now, some people say, oh, you can set up a trust, you can set up a family office, you can set up a fund, you can put that money and hire a family office to manage it for you. You can hire a hedge fund to manage it for you. You can give it to, you know, some money managers to manage for you. Now, all those things, they sound great. Okay, they sound great. There's a few things that's bad about it. Is one, I'm not 100% familiar with those concepts. Yes, I know what a hedge fund is. Yes, I know what a family office is. Yes, I know what a financial advisor is. Yes, I know what a wealth manager is. Yes, I know what all these things are. But just because I know it doesn't mean I understand how they work to pass wealth on or grow my wealth from generation 1 to generation 2 to generation 3 and so on. Okay, so because of that, that's something that, like, if you ask, like, hey, I wonder what Ty is spending full time doing, that's what I'm spending full time on doing. Okay, is I'm looking, in addition to building software, our custom trading software, so that we can scale our trading. That's what I'm looking at, the legal infrastructures and the things so that we can scale our trading. So we're scaling our trading with two ways. One is with legal legal solutions, and the other one is with software solutions. So those are the two that I'm dedicating all my time and focusing on, right? And then I'm also spending time to coach our current students for the bull market, right? So in the past, we offered a 1-year private coaching with our students who enroll or purchase the cryptocurrency investing blueprint. You can get that copy of the blueprint, which explains everything that we have done to grow and manage a 7, 8, 9-figure portfolio. You can get it at www.cryptocurrency.market/blueprint, right? I highly recommend that you get that. If you don't know what you're doing, or you're new, or you're unsure, or you've been in crypto and you screwed up in 2017, I think that cryptocurrency investing blueprint that we offer is a huge investment that can answer a lot of problems that you will face, because we have faced it already and we recorded it, how we solved it, and that will help you tremendously. Okay, now in the past we would offer a 1-year private coaching for anyone who purchased the blueprint, but we have gotten to the point where it's not scalable no more. So after this bull market in 2021, our current plans are we are going to sunset the private coaching. That means that we're going to let it go. We're not going to do it no more, right? We just don't have time. Like in the past, we did it just to help our students to make sure that they understand it and get the benefit from it. But we're at a point where we just don't have time for that shit no more, okay? And it's just not worth our time, right? And so right now, the private coaching that we are doing for our current crop of students, we are doing that for them just as complimentary. Okay, because we know that if we don't help them through this bull market, maybe then it's really stressful. It's really painful to go through a bull market and make 10x, 20x, 30x on your portfolio, and then you don't know how to take profits, or you have a question that's really important and you don't know who to ask, or if you ask someone, they have never traded a 7, 8, 9-figure portfolio before, and they just don't know the answers. Okay, so because of that, we know how that feels, and we know that our students are not going to be able to get that information from anyone else. Okay, that's trustworthy. So that's why we're sticking around, and we're biting the bullet, and we're just, it's extra work for us that we don't need to do, right? Because we're not getting paid to do it, and so we're doing it to help our students. But after this last let's call it graduating class, then we should be done, and then we don't have no more obligations or responsibilities to them, And plus, we also feel that this is a huge opportunity in the market. I don't think we're ever going to get an opportunity like this again in another 100 years. And so we really, I've been, pressing Leon and David, my business partners, to just stick around for another 5-6 months, hopefully till the end of this year in 2021, and we finish coaching everyone, make sure that if they have any questions, we can answer for them on how to take profits and things like that in the private coaching, and then after that, then we're done, okay? And we just ride off into the sunset. So because of that, right, outside of the private coaching and our blueprint students, the bulk of our time is focused on legal infrastructure to scale, so that like I said, we're already making the money right now that we want to make, and we're going to make, in our lifetime, we cannot spend all the money that we make, okay? And my kids and my grandkids will not be able to spend it all either. So that's the most challenging part. And the reason why it's challenging to set up the trading to scale for multi-generations is because we don't know who to talk to. Before I left the US to come back and retire in Vietnam, I believe that Leon and I talked to a total of about almost 30 lawyers. We're talking about estate planning lawyers, tax lawyers, accountants, everybody. And most of them did not have a clear picture. Like if we asked them a question about, hey, if I sell this now and I bought this and this is my cost basis, how much is the taxes? Is it short term, long term, and everything? They can answer that. But to create a big picture of how do we pass on, right, multi-generational wealth from one generation 1, all the way down to generation 10 to generation 20. Believe it or not, most of these lawyers that we talk to and most of the accountants we talk to do not know what to do, because most of them do not have experience working with, large numbers like 8, 9, 10-figure portfolios. People with that kind of portfolio, all right? So because of that, they cannot give us the answers. So we are trying to figure that on ourselves. Now, it's easy to look online, and let's just say we see guys like, let's just say Chamath Palihapitiya, let's say we see guys like Warren Buffett, we see guys like, Charlie Munger, we see all these guys, right? But we don't have access to them. We don't have access to them and say, hey man, how are you managing this $1 billion portfolio? How did you go from this 100 million to your first $1 billion? We don't have access to people like that. And where would we have access to that? Like let's look at the billionaires that's in crypto that come from a trading, investing, and money management background. Let's just name a few. Like one would be Barry Silbert, from the digital currency group. I believe he's a billionaire. I believe he's an investor. I believe that he has knowledge of how to manage these portfolios and make these large sums of money. So if he and I are peers, but I don't know him, he doesn't know me. So how would I even approach him and ask him, hey man, hey Barry, how are you planning your generational wealth? What's the game plan here? How are you doing it? Let's bounce some ideas around. Let me get you a coffee or a bagel or something, and let's take a look at this, right? So he's gonna be so busy, I'm gonna be so busy. How are we even gonna discuss this? Let's talk about, let's say, another guy like Mike Novogratz, right? He's a recognized billionaire. He's a money manager. He's a portfolio manager. He knows how to deal with large sums of money. So let's just say that he's in New York, I'm in Bangkok. Okay, so what's the connection here? I don't know him, he doesn't know me. I don't know somebody that knows him. Well, I do know people that know him, but not like on a close terms or something, right? And just because he's a billionaire, that doesn't necessarily mean he has his succession plans figured out. That does not mean that he has his generational wealth plans figured out, or he has the infrastructure to have that in place, right? He might be in the same situation we're in. Okay, so if I'm just thinking out loud and sharing some of these things with you guys, right? Because on the surface, it may seem like we know what we're doing, and we know what we're doing. We're experts in this field and everything, and I agree, we are. We are experts. We are some of the best trading teams out there in making money in this arena. However, once we make that money, what do we do with it? What do we do with that excess money that we cannot spend in our lifetimes? What do we do with that money that even our kids and grandkids cannot spend all of it in their lifetimes, right? And so how does that happen? Like, I look at like some of the things that my team and I talk a lot and discuss a lot is like, how does the Queen of England, their family been rich for many, many years, many decades, many centuries. How does that happen? How does a family pass on wealth for the next 100 years without losing it, right? Because if you look at my family, my bloodline, the men in my family are not very smart. Like, there's a stereotype that Asians, they're smart in science and mathematics and everything. I have not seen evidence of that in my family line, in my bloodline, okay, in my DNA. Like, I come back to Vietnam, I see I've seen my dad, my uncles, on my grandmother's side, on my grandfather's side, and I haven't seen anybody that I would be like, oh wow, like, hey, we got a smart guy in our bloodline, in our family line, all right? I haven't seen that. Matter of fact, I've seen a bunch of dumbasses in my family line, including myself. So the probability, and statistically, the probability that someone else in my bloodline, my future ancestors, that would be able to do what I'm doing or continue what I'm doing, even continue half what I'm doing, right? The odds, in my opinion, are very low. So what does that mean? That means that whatever wealth that I create in my lifetime, right, there's a bigger probability that it's going to go to zero than it is to continue growing. That's just the reality of it. Maybe you guys are watching this and maybe you come from a family line where there's lots of smart men in your family, but in my family line, I haven't seen evidence of that. I've seen lots of evidence that, you know, I come from a DNA of a bunch of dumbasses, right? More so than a bunch of geniuses, okay? So how does the King of Thailand, how does the Queen of England, how do these people pass on wealth for multiple generations? That's the biggest puzzle, that's the biggest challenge that we are facing right now, right? On our team. Like with me personally, like if you ask me, hey, like Ty, what do you spend all your time doing every day? That's what I'm trying to figure out. That's what I'm trying to figure out, right? If I'm just sharing this out loud with you guys because sometimes I watch these people online and they always come off with this image that, you know, they're perfect, they're the best, they know every goddamn thing, you know, and I'm sitting here telling you guys that I don't know everything, okay? I do know how to make a shitload of money in crypto, okay? I do know how to do that. Our team knows how to do that. We've proven that over and over already, all right? So we do know how to do that, but what we do with that money afterwards to hold it, keep it, maintain it, and continue for our kids and grandkids and future generations to grow it and maintain it, that is something that we're still trying to figure out. If you guys have any comments, questions, suggestions, right? You can put them in the comments below and I'll be happy to take a look at it. And again, if you guys are interested in seeing what our team did to get to where we're at today, you are welcome to get a copy of the Cryptocurrency Investing Blueprint at www.cryptocurrency.market/blueprint. Make sure you follow me on Twitter at HeyTaiZen, and I'll look forward to seeing you guys in a future video. Thank you.